Hey, welcome back to DieCash Cars. So with the year coming to a close, I wanted to recap 2022 and just look to see if I achieved all of the Hot Wheels collecting and investing goals that I had set for myself this year. So I will preference that the goals that I had throughout the year were always changing because of all the new releases that were being announced. But for today, we'll be going through my top 10 goals, and I will share with you guys how well I did in each of these categories. Starting with number 10 has to be the Dollar General Acura Integra GSR. So you guys know in the past I've talked about some of the best collectibles for this year, and store exclusives were definitely part of that. This one, no exception. The Electron Blue Acura Integra GSR. I mean, man, I would honestly go on record to say that this is the best Acura Integra release to date. I mean, this color scheme looks great. When it comes to the GSR, I think the most iconic color is the Electron Blue. Personally, I really like this color just because I do live pretty close to the local racetrack, and this car is a frequent flyer when it comes to that raceway, and I see it running around my neighborhood all the time. So I mean, this color really just does it for me. I mean, it looks great, and again, the fact that it's a store exclusive really just adds to the overall feel for this car. Sticking with the same category of store exclusives, this car needs no introduction. The Honda Civic EK9 Type R Target Red Edition, and although red was never an official color for the EK9 Type R, you can't deny that it looks great in this. It's got the Ryu tribute on there, the red logo on the back. I mean, this thing just looks good. And you guys know that the 5 that I acquired were through trade. I traded away a Volkswagen K4 Racer Super Treasure Hunt that at the time was worth about $50. These EK9s, they started life at that $15 to $20 range. So you could say that at the time of the trade, I was already a little bit up in value. Currently, secondary market price on these EK9 Target Reds is around $20 to $25. So if anything, the value on these has just grown in the last 6 months. Whereas the K4 Racer that I traded away started life at about $50. Now it's around that $35 to $40 range. But thinking about this car long term, the value is definitely going to be there. I mean, one comparable for you guys would be the Kmart K-Day Honda Civic EF, which is widely popular still, sitting at that $25 to $30 range. And number 8 on the countdown list is sort of a store exclusive from Best Buy, but definitely a Hot Wheels mail-in promotion. The Subaru Impreza WRX STI. I just did a mail-in video on this car recently. You guys know my love and passion for Subarus. This car was definitely on my list here for 2022. It looks great, blue and gold combination. It's not difficult to get this car, but you definitely have to put the work in to get it, and I have really been gearing up for a good mail-in for quite some time, storing card backs and just waiting for the right release to spend it all. But definitely a solid piece to add to the collection. I did end up getting 4 of these because that's as many cards as I could have gotten, and I wouldn't regret it. Looking forward to seeing this car in particular more in the future. Currently right now, secondary market price on this does sit at a pretty high amount for a mail-in. So right now selling for around $40 a piece. Typically mail-ins are around that $25 to $30 range. So I think the popularity and the demand for this car is definitely there, and I think it's only gonna get more moving forward. And one last store exclusive to round us out, coming in at number 7, had to be the Target exclusive Nismo Nissan Skyline R32 R34 2-pack. And again, the popularity and the demand for this 2-pack was out the door. Everybody was looking for these. I don't recall a lot of these Skyline 2-packs really even sitting on the pegs. I found the majority of mine taking them right out of the cases or online purchases and trades. I was super fortunate to get 8 of these to fill 1 full case, which this is going to be one of my long-term storage cars because I really do anticipate the value of these 2-packs to go essentially sky high. Currently right now, secondary market, they're sitting at around $30, which is pretty substantial. You could say that that's essentially 100% gains on current retail prices for these 2-packs, which is around that $12 to $13 range, but definitely a great score for this year. Definitely on target and on track with this goal. Alright, so a quick audible to my top 10 list. Number 6 is another store exclusive, and the last store exclusive within my top 10 list had to be the M release of the Hot Wheels Boulevard lineup, specifically the one with the Toyota 4Runner in the 40th anniversary livery. Not to mention, you got the Mach 1 Mustang, the Mercedes-Benz Estate, the Pantera, as well as the Ford Escort RS 1800. Again, I've stated it before, but this is one of the best Boulevard lineups for the year, if not one of the best ever. All the cars have a level of significance. I mean, this 4Runner, no exception, just an awesome piece. And hopefully we do get the card variation for this too. I haven't seen much news about that, but currently right now, secondary market price on this full set from the M case is right around that $55 to $60 range. This 4Runner itself is still selling in that $20 to $25 range. Long-term value on these, I really do feel like it's only going to go up. So this is where I'm at for number 6, and again, very fortunate to have found a whole box with my son on Black Friday. So numbers 5 through 3 will all be RLC, starting with this one, the Golf Datsun 510. So I would say that there are 3 major RLC releases this year, this one being one of the earliest and one of the first highly sought after and anticipated RLCs to be released here in 2022. I mean, golf livery is always going to be popular, Datsun 510, especially the cast with the opening hood. Detailed engine is always going to be super popular. The only downside to this release was that it wasn't Spectra Flame coming from RLC, as well as the fact that it was essentially unlimited. Who knows how many Mattel and Hot Wheels produced of this car, but nonetheless, it's going to be still a very sought after cast moving forward. I've even seen the value on these cars tick up since they've been released earlier this year. They were sitting in that $45 to $50 range, believe it or not. Around the summer, right now, they're ticking right back up to around that $60 to $65 range. I still have all 5 that I purchased this year with this car. Just a decision that my family and I made. We really wanted these because we liked them, as well as just having them for the long-term value. But I really do anticipate that the future will definitely be good for this car. So if you're able to snap any of these up for a good deal, I think it's a fair investment at this point. Number 4 on the 2022 goals countdown list had to be this Ryu Asada Honda S2000 from RLC. Nothing but significance when it comes to this car. You got Mr. Ryu Asada himself front and center on the card art. You have his autograph there in chrome paint. The car itself pays homage to his actual car in real life. I mean, again, significance for this release was through the roof. However, the value on this car currently on the secondary market doesn't really reflect that. Currently right now only selling for around that $50 price point. I do anticipate this car to go way higher than that moving forward. I don't know the exact number, but I don't think $100 is out of the question for this piece moving forward. I think the initial concern with this release is that it is out of 30,000, but as we know, the hobby is growing. There's more and more collectors jumping into the hobby. The S2000 is definitely one of the top 10 most sought after casts in the market right now, so I don't think that $50 is gonna stay very long for this cast. But definitely happy to have this in the collection, and was definitely one I needed to check off on my 2022 goals for the year. The number 3 car that was very heavy on my RLC want list this year had to be the Nismo Nissan Skyline B&R R34. I mean, nothing to disappoint with this cast, this release. The wheel combination, the chrome body paint, even the ghost flames, I think it's rubbed well on everybody who has this car. Even the quantity out of 30,000 doesn't seem to interrupt with how much demand and interest there is on this car. Currently right now, secondary market price is around that $100 mark, although I have seen it dip down to about that $80-90 range, but I think that was the bottom. I feel like only gonna go up from here, So hopefully you're able to get your hands on it. The one disappointment I had with this cast was that out of my 5 accounts within my family, we were only able to get one of these. So again, I underestimated how popular this cast was going to be. That was my mistake, but I was able to get a couple of these off the secondary market. This one, as you can see, pretty low number, $9.79. And I was able to get this one for around $110. So definitely was able to recoup and salvage the situation. Moving right up the hierarchy here, we're jumping into convention pieces, and this one definitely was high on my list. The Nissan Skyline 2000 GTR LA convention that just took place this past October. This car I was on the fence on getting, but Mrs. DieCash made it known that this was what I was going to be getting, and when I got it in hand, I mean, there was no question. It was an absolutely need for the collection. It looks great in this metallic orange paint, all the black accents. I've talked about it before. Great piece, especially if you're a JDM Skyline collector. And the fact that it's a convention exclusive, limited out of 6,200 pieces. It's an awesome piece to have, a heavy hitter to check off the list. Currently right now, secondary market price on it does not reflect that. Currently only selling for around $120. The pin that is very similar to this card art and the car that is a great addition to this piece sells for around that $50 mark. So I think the combination of the two, such a unique duo, long term I think will definitely grow in value, similar to all the other LA convention or convention pieces in general. They usually grow in value over time, just given how exclusive they are. And number 1 on the 2022 goals list is this Datsun 510 from the Japan convention. Harping back to one of my earlier videos for this channel, and man, it's still a stunner of a piece. My personal favorite Hot Wheels Datsun 510 release of all time. I mean, between the crashing waves, the koi scales, the color scheme, this tan and black, the Watanabe wheels, the red line tires, I mean, I could go on and on. This release was, simply put, spectacular. Limited out of 5,100 pieces. And then you have the significance of the right facing, which is the normal facing. And then you have the more exclusive left facing as well too, that was out of 1,200. And I have both pieces. I will admit I did overpay for these, so I bought these very early on in the convention time frame, so I paid around $900 for both of these. Currently right now secondary market price is around $700 for both of these, and I'm sure you could still get those stickers to pair along with it, but I have no regrets because this car just looks great, and I was able to get it in hand and early enough to be one of the first to review this piece for everybody here. So again, no regrets, and having it in my collection, that's where it's going to stay for quite some time. Long-term value on this, I don't anticipate it's ever going to go below that $700 price range. I mean, this is always going to be a classic moving forward. So a little bonus coverage for you guys, because here on DieCash Cars, we're all about exceeding expectations, and that's exactly what I did with these EK9 Super Treasure Hunts. You guys know that this is by far my favorite Super Treasure Hunt for the year, and it's quickly becoming my favorite Super Treasure Hunt of all time. And thanks to the generosity of a long-time viewer, Mr. D-Matic, he was gracious enough to offer up his EK9 Super to be the 9th one in the collection in trade for a Nissan Skyline Nismo 2-pack Target exclusive. So I sent him that along with some other goodies. So again, shout out to you, sir. You helped me achieve my goal. I mean, having 9 of these in the collection before the year's close, I mean, I'm just left speechless, guys, because this is the year to get these cars. I 100% believe that moving forward, these cars are going to be far and few between. The values are going to go sky high. I mean, they already are. You know, if you think about it, in the summer, these were selling for around $100 a piece. Right now, they're sitting at around $130 comfortably. But at the same time, I've seen a number of sales already tip in that $150 price point. And nobody is looking to sell this car unless they absolutely have to. So this is the year to get this car, and we honestly only have a small window to really get these for affordable prices. Another fun fact about these 9 EK9 Super Treasure Hunts is that I found 5 of them at the retail stores, only paying retail price, roughly $1 a piece. And then the other 4 I was able to get through trades, whether it was ROC pieces, Super Treasure Hunts, or just picking them up straight up for really good deals. So again, you guys saw the video that I posted just a couple days ago. I purchased one off eBay for $70. But the great thing about it is that I didn't spend more than $200 total on all 9 EK9 Super Treasure Hunts, shipping included. And from a value standpoint, that's great because at about $130 a piece, secondary market for all 9 of these EK9 Super Treasure Hunts comes out to roughly $1,200. But that's what I got for you guys today. Just wanted to go through and share with you guys how I did on my 2022 Hot Wheels collecting and investing goals. Let me know below down in the comments how you fared against your goals. Like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time on DieCash Cars.